and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. As you should be able to see from the introductory video, this is going to be a video about the Celtic women's side, the Celtic girls, and so if you don't follow the Celtic girls, this video may not be for you, but there will be another video later on in the day towards maybe 5-6 o'clock in the evening, summarising the day's transfer loan activities, updating on any players in and out, and any rumours or stories developing over the last 24 hours. Main topic of this video is going to be a review of the disappointing 2-1 loss in the Sky Sports League Cup semi-final against Rangers. The game was live on BBC Alba, and all in all, it was a rather awful game of football. Very, very negative. An awful lot of stop-start, an awful lot of fouls, an awful lot of odd decisions by the referee, some rather bad-tempered, feisty incidents, both with players and the coaching staff. A few very odd decisions where penalties weren't given. Have to say, I was delighted to see an all-women refereeing team with the main referee, the two assistant referees, and the fourth official. I think it's great for the development of women's football in Scotland and women's refereeing in Scotland that they have all women refereeing crews. And I have to say, I've been very impressed in general with the women referees and assistant referees in all the European matches watched in the qualifying and the main group Champions League games. What I've been impressed with is the consistency of the decisions and what is a foul or isn't a foul, what's time wasting, what's not time wasting, what's an acceptable amount of yardage to be gained when you're stealing a few yards at a throw-in or a free kick, etc. And whilst I didn't always agree with every decision the referee made in those Champions League qualifiers and group stages, at least the referee was consistent, and so what was a foul for one team was going to be a foul for the other team, and what was going to be allowed in terms of inching a few yards or meters or feet up the touchline would be acceptable, but it would be the same for both sides. However, very disappointed in the young lady referee yesterday afternoon. Seemed to lose control of the discipline of the game, seemed to be very inconsistent as to what was a foul, what wasn't a foul. The bulk of the decisions did favour Rangers, but there were plenty of decisions that went against Rangers as well. Quite a few fouled by Celtic players, which went unpunished. There were a couple of really pretty horrible tackles by Nicola Docherty, the Rangers captain, one on Amy Gallagher, one on Matilda Carstens, both of which were definite yellow cards, but neither actually was even given as a foul. Pretty clear pulling back by the Rangers centre-half on Morgan Cross a few minutes into the game. Would have been just on the edge of the box, not sure whether it would have been a penalty or a direct free kick, but then also thoughts about whether that should have been a red card, in that had Cross been allowed to go free, it would have been 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, pretty much by definition a goal-scoring opportunity. And then early in the second half, out wide on the right, Matilda Carstens made her way into the box, tripped up by the Rangers defender, clear penalty kick right on the edge of the box. However, referee not sure whether she wasn't keeping up with play, and it was on the opposite side to her assistant referee. Either way, penalty wasn't given. Celtic didn't get the chance to move back into the game. And then there was the bizarre red card for the Rangers head coach Jo Potter. She appeared to be hiding the ball from Emma Lawton taking a quick throw-in. Seemed to be an awful lot of confusion between the referee, the fourth official, and the assistant referee on that side as to whose throw-in it was. In technical terms, hiding the ball so that your own team can't take a quick throw-in, etc., or take a throw-in is time wasting, and so a yellow card. Hiding the ball from your opponents to stop them taking a quick throw-in is a red card. Whether there was dissent as well, I don't know. It just seemed all very bizarre, and I think it created a rather bad atmosphere on the touchlines and a rather bad atmosphere on the pitch. I think in essence it came down to A rather inexperienced referee, as it often is in the Women's Premier League and women's football in Scotland, possibly needing that big match experience of being in the pressure cooker of a Rangers Celtic game. And maybe next time around that she referees a big game like the Celtic Rangers semi finals, she'll have feedback from her bosses and mentors. And I do think, as I said right at the start, it's very important for Scotland to have good, top quality referees to referee women's football, and then those referees moving into being UEFA and FIFA referees as well. Enough ranting and raving about the game. Moving back to the game, as I said, an awful lot of negative fouls, tripping, time wasting, negative tactics, primarily from Rangers, but also to an extent from Celtic. Really, one good chance for Celtic in the first half. Saoirse Noonan getting a bit of space free in the box. The ball just tantalisingly out of her reach. She managed to get a shot on it, but it screwed past the right-hand post. A couple of nice breaks down the right-hand side by Emma Lawton, working well with Matilda Carsons. One or the other getting that space to the byline. Nice cutbacks into the box, but again, Morgan Cross, Amy Gallagher, Saoirse not quite able to meet those crosses. A couple of wee threatening situations from corners that went clear from the Rangers defenders. In the first half, Rangers pretty much had a couple of shots on goal, both from Wilkinson, Caitlin Hayes blocking both shots nicely, one after the other. A couple of shots over Chloe Logan's bar, but nothing of great consequence. As has often been the case, Rangers came out at the start of a half much better than Celtic, and a rotten 5-minute period at the start of the second half. Some terrible defending at the corner. Kelly Clark let the ball go right across the 6-yard box. Caitlin Hayes and Chloe Logan, I think, were assuming that Kelly Clark would clear it. Thus, both Chloe Logan was slow off her line to intercept the cross, and Caitlin Hayes was slow to match Rio Hardy's run, and Hardy had a very simple finish from about 5-6 yards out. Some absolutely awful defending by Celtic in a game in which they actually defended otherwise really pretty well. Then Colette Kavanagh did what I thought was a perfectly legal tackle from the back, taking the ball. Made no real contact with the Rangers player. However, the referee chose to give it as a foul and booking Colette Kavanagh, which was quite an inconsistency given the way that she'd reacted to 3 or 4 fouls by Nicola Docherty before and after that time, none of which were merited as fouls, none of which merited as yellow cards. And I think the Rangers captain, when all the footage is reviewed, as teams do these days, I think she and her head coach might well recognise that Docherty was very lucky to stay on the pitch with the number of fouls that she gave away, which went unpunished by by a free kick or even a yellow card. The direct free kick was in a pretty perfect place for a shot on goal, and to give her credit, Wilkinson's shot was a very good shot into the top right hand corner. However, the wall I thought was very poorly lined up. Chloe Logan's starting position was far too central, giving herself very little chance, if any, to get anywhere near the free kick. And I think had the wall been properly lined up, covering the whole of the left half of the goal, would have allowed her to be much more over to the right side of the goal, making Wilkinson's effort on goal much more difficult to convert. And I think it was another example of some pretty poor defending and pretty poor organisation, and another goalkeeping error, which was a common factor in both goals. And I think it actually was, as Lena Sidiku said in a post-match interview, pretty poor defensive effort for a short period of time in a game otherwise where Celtic had more of the possession, more of the attack, more of the attacking intent. Probably in the end more chances than Rangers. However, Rangers, to give them credit, did put away the 2 chances they had. Celtic missed a few, and then eventually got a goal late on. Celtic huffed and puffed. They made some changes, didn't really make a great difference to the team. And then, with 5 minutes added on, Celtic managed to get a nice cross into the box by Lucy Ashworth Clifford, and Emma Lawton tucked away a very nice finish. So Celtic, 1 minute into added time, were back to 2-1 down. Rangers managed to get away with a good minute and a bit of time wasting after yet another foul in the box by a Celtic player at a corner, where there didn't seem to be any contact with any defender or the goalkeeper or any form of handball. However, the referee saw a foul, which nobody else really saw, and allowed the Rangers goalkeeper to spend a good minute before she actually cleared the ball. Had she added that minute on, that would have been a different matter, but the game ended about 1 second past the 5 minute mark. Now, not blaming the referee, I think Celtic could have played far better. I thought Emma Lawton at right back had a good job. Caitlin Hayes, I thought, played well. Kelly Clark a wee bit off her best form. Celia Barclay at left back seemed to be primarily trying to bomb forward, but she never had the speed or energy to get back to defend. So several times the Rangers managed to attack down that side, with Kelly Clark trying to cover across unsuccessfully. Celtic didn't really get a hold of midfield, be it with Shannon McGregor, Natalie Ross, Colette Kavanagh in that central area. Matilda Carsons did a pretty good job in the first half in a more advanced role. Amy Gallagher kind of drifted in and out of the game. Morgan Cross, I thought, had a good first half, but then faded away in the second half. Saoirse Noonan tried very hard up front, but really was crowded out by the Rangers defenders and midfielders tracking back. Thought Chloe Logan looked a wee bit out her depth as well. As I said, she had every chance to come for that corner cross into the box and failed to do so. I think she was badly positioned for the direct free kick by Wilkinson that gave Rangers the 2-0 lead. And a few other times she looked very nervous when the ball was passed back to her to distribute. So hopefully for the next game for Celtic on Friday against Hearts, Kelsey Doherty, who was on the bench, will be back in the team. Murphy Agnew did come on and looked fairly bright, but I think she is a game or two away from full match fitness. Elena Sadiku had said that Kit Lefersky was going to be back in the squad for the game. However, she wasn't in the team, nor was she on the bench, so hopefully she hasn't been injured yet again. Because I do think that the pace of Murphy Agnew and Kit Lefersky in future matches will be a big weapon against Rangers, as was proven with Morgan Cross in the first half. And also, will be interesting to see Emma Weston, the new Swedish wide player, who also has a good record of scoring goals and creating goals and chances, and has had experience internationally with Sweden at the under-23 and below range, and has played a number of Champions League games previously for Hammarby, including several games earlier this season in the group stage for Hammarby, and has experience also of American collegiate football, which often is a very good grounding for being a good high-level player. And so it will be interesting to see Emma Weston working her way into the team, and I would really hope that Celtic do get maybe an extra player or two, maybe someone to control midfield better, as Colette Kavanagh, Shannon McGregor, and Natalie Ross didn't really do that yesterday against Rangers, and maybe an additional striker to go alongside Saoirse Noonan, or to rest and rotate with Saoirse Noonan, as what we do require is a goal scorer who consistently puts away those chances and half chances, as Saoirse Noonan has been doing a very good job scoring against the lower level sides, but against the top level sides, she has been less consistent in her ability to put the ball away. Having said all those factors, I still am very hopeful, optimistic, confident that Celtic will come through and win the league in the end. Celtic do still have one more game in hand, which they'll be playing next week I think if they do win that game, that'll put them up into second place. 3 points behind Glasgow City, ahead of Rangers in the league, ahead of Hibs and Hearts in the league. And I think, as I said earlier on, I think the league will be decided in those final 10 games where the top 6 play each other home and away. I think also the games against Hibs and Hearts will be just as important as the games against Rangers and Glasgow City, and whoever comes sixth. As Hibs and Hearts, as they've proven already this season, are more than good enough to take off points off Celtic and of Rangers, and less so of Glasgow City, who have been that wee bit more consistent in their abilities to grind out results against the top 6 and have very convincing wins against the bottom 6. That finishes things off for today's Celtic FC Women video, Celtic Girls video. We'll be doing another video after the Celtic Hearts match, which will be live on TV on Friday evening. And as I said earlier on, we'll be doing a video regarding the men's team, the main Celtic team, later on today, updating on transfers and the preparations for the very important fixture against Young Boys Bern on Wednesday in our 7th Champions League match. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.